politics, business, sports, arts, music. Mike and Marty on the feed. Mike and Marty. Mike and Marty.
Good morning, Rockingham, and welcome to the feed. It's Mike and Marty. Today we have Betsy Thurston with us. It's March 9th, 2022. How many days till spring? Not many.
Not many. We changed the clocks this weekend.
Changed the clocks this weekend. SAP's starting to run. A little bit late this year, I think, but
I think so. I don't know if it's been. We had some warm patches, so I don't know if it's been technically cold enough at night and then warm enough in the day. So
I think it has just started. I'm hoping to see some syrup this weekend.
Nice. Oh, you do? Do you?
No, my daughter does.
Your daughter does, right?
Yeah,
right.
So I've been keeping track of it. Anyway, here we are. Local events.
Local events. So tonight at the movie theater, there isn't a classic movie, but there is a locally produced movie called No Exit, produced by Fact TV. It is starting at 7 p.m. and you're going to recognize local faces. You might recognize some local people from Fact. It was all produced, and it's going to be a fun event. I think.
Written and produced by people here at Fact.
Yeah. And so definitely show up. They're gonna. It's about a half hour,
Yeah,
so you have
it's about
just
a half
enough
hour
time to
movie.
eat your triple up.
That's right. And
Yeah.
questions, I think the cast will be there and
Mm-hmm.
the producers will be there, and there'll be a question and answer. It'll be a lot of fun. I see that they're still editing it out this morning, so it should be fresh.
It'll be fresh. It'll be the most
Right off- fresh
freshly
off the
edited
press.
video you will ever see.
It's a typical Fact production.
Mm-hmm.
Edit up to the last minute.
Well, you got to make sure you got to tweak just one more
I
thing.
know.
You guys
I
are
know.
perfectionists. You want that one last thing.
Okay.
And then this Saturday, the Opera House is having The Logger. Doors open at 6:30 and the show's at 7:30. You can buy tickets at the door, or you can get them online, or you can get them at Village Square Booksellers. And just a quick shout out, because they're awfully good about doing that type of stuff for the
Yeah.
Opera House, and it makes it so more convenient if you're like me and I just don't like to buy things online or do that online. It's easy to just go into the bookstore. And then the movie this weekend is the same as last weekend. It's The Batman, and I still have yet to figure out why it's The Batman and
because-
not just Batman. Did you go see it?
I didn't go see it. It's
It's a burning question. I
yes.
want to know why it's The Batman. Like, what's the difference in the version of
Yes,
it?
I don't understand either. How many dark and brooding Batmans?
Exactly, because
can you
we've had
make?
quite a few.
Yeah, there's already been two, and
Yeah.
you would think that would be sufficient, but I shouldn't.
But I guess if they keep selling out, then they're just
yeah,
going
that's
to keep
true.
making them.
That's true. I mean, it's not like there's been any superhero movies out lately.
No, there's been no DC Comics superheroes or Avenger type movies or any
Or
of those
Marvel.
movies lately, or
Nope,
Marvel
nothing.
or none of those. Nope. Nope.
It'd be nice to have one.
Some for variety.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Anyway,
Can
Betsy.
can I ask how much, is it just donation to come tonight? To the
I think so. Yeah.
I'm not sure, to be really honest.
We'd have to ask
Donation.
Donations.
Okay.
Getting a thumbs up for on
Perfect.
donations.
I didn't do my
Well,
homework
I'll
on that
definitely
one.
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah. Oh, I would highly recommend it. It's going to be good. Anyway.
So thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh,
Thanks
Um,
for coming.
So actually, Mike heard about a Where's Hetty Green scavenger hunt that we did last summer that I can't wait to do again.
Yeah.
And he said Bryce and himself might be interested in
We are.
helping,
We're going
which
You
definitely be-
planning your strategy already?
No, we want to help whatever.
Oh.
Because we were thinking about trying to do create a treasure hunt, scavenger
Mm-hmm.
hunt that would be more targeted more for younger people.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were talking with Betsy, and she said she was doing it. So I figure we can glom onto hers and then help her, and then we can figure out ours later.
exactly.
Yeah.
And really working with Bryce would be exciting because I think we had 6
Yes.
people that took our scavenger hunt last year.
Really?
And they loved it, but I said, okay, how do we make it so it's, for all
Yeah.
ages? And
Yeah. He's a treat.
So I bet he
I'll tell
can
you.
help.
And it's such an integral part of the town history.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
it is.
And she was such an interesting character. So how did the scavenger hunt work last year?
Well, we will have this kind of friendly photo of Hetty.
You
we've
find a
asked-
friendly
That
photo?
thing, I want,
That in
I
and
want
of
to see
itself.
that.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a cartoony. We're talking to a local artist, see if she would do a watercolor, so it might even be
Oh, neat.
nicer, and then we could sell the prints possibly.
Yeah.
But we asked, businesses around town if they wouldn't mind posting a picture of Hetty somewhere in their shop.
Okay.
Many of them put them in the front window. Some really got into it and hid them. And then they had their own little square. They had to write, there were numbers and what store was in them. And I'll say Megan and Julie from Parks Place. They were so excited. They actually went down for the first time, went into a couple shops, and I was so excited they took advantage of it. And it's free and it's just fun. And I learned a lot about Hetty, and I really like to dress up like Hetty and do a tour. So
Oh, neat.
we'll
Well,
see
that'd be
if
fun.
this summer I have time.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to it too. Well, it seems it's funny because Ian was talking about that last week. Remember, he was one of the things he was talking about was the interest of Hetty Green. She's such an interesting person, and he had come from out of town, and one of the things he knew about Bellows Falls was Hetty Green. Yeah,
Because didn't he work at a library that her daughter donated the
that's
money
right,
for?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so there's interesting
Okay, well,
connection. Yeah.
Ian Graham, I'll be talking
Yes.
to you.
Yes.
But yeah, so that it'll start in June and it will go through ending at Old Home Days. So kind of when we're really
Oh,
interested
nice.
in the history of Rockingham, it'll end
yeah,
that weekend.
yeah.
Nice.
Perfect.
And so people can stay tuned for for more details on
For
that.
more
Like,
updates
if
on
as
the
it
Hetty
gets maybe
Green
For
Scavenger.
more
Maybe
details,
bigger
yes, it
and-
hasn't really even been,
100%
read.
fleshed out.
but on Facebook. So definitely like us on BFDDA. But yeah, that's June to August. So first I wanted to talk about May is coming closer or faster than we would like, or that I would like. I think everyone else is excited
Everyone
about
else
May.
wants it to hurry up.
But we have a Mother's Day promotion. We've done, in the past, it's the Best Mom Award. So
Oh, neat.
looking at ways to kind of grow that. But from April 16th to Mother's Day, there will be more details again soon on Facebook. And participating businesses will have the forms, and you just kind of say why your mom deserves a prize. And,
Nice.
and last year, thank you, Allen Brothers, Holidays, Village Square Booksellers, and Threaded Trunk Boutique. They all donated prizes. So.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so that'll happen again. The BF3F is Bellows Falls third Friday. I'll have to say Canal Street Art Gallery was really keeping it going over the winter. There wasn't a lot through COVID, but generally merchants, stores, galleries, they all stay open later on Friday. Very excited that now we have Wonder Bar open again. Popolo, I hear, will be in the spring, so there'll be more going on Fridays. Farmers Market is actually looking to, have different and better
Right.
things for that third Friday. So they'll definitely have live music lined up and possibly food trucks.
And are they still going to be down at the Waypoint Center?
Well, I've only attended one meeting, and I don't feel
Oh,
like I'm
okay.
the one to talk
Ah.
about. So stay tuned for more
Like
details
is-
on Farmers Market.
I'd heard that Nate from Northwind Farms
Yes.
he's like hitting it up or doing more than he did because
Yes.
before he was a vendor, he was really good.
Yeah.
Uh,
But there's a lot of good energy and some ideas on how to, really grow. I mean, it's time. It's time for us to have a successful
It's time.
farmers
Well, it's
market.
kind of like we're starting. What I'm seeing is we're slowly starting to reawaken. Like we
Yeah,
had kind of
I
2 years
agree.
of kind of not really dormancy, but just really hard to really start anything. And now it seems like maybe, fingers crossed, we can start to go back to opening things up and maybe
Yeah,
new ways
yeah.
of doing things. Maybe things look different, but able to kind of get those pieces in place again.
Well, like you were telling me the other day, it's been 2 years, almost right at this time. Remember, we were just getting ready to do St. Patty's Day, and we were all hyped to do that, and then
Everything shut down.
Oh, yeah. Full kegs
Yeah.
of beer. Just
Yeah.
what? We can't.
That's right. It shut down. That's right. It shut down on.
Because we were out
I was
doing,
thinking
trying
of-
to start a show. We were doing a show, I think, and and people were like, well, what are you doing? We're
Yeah,
closing.
yeah. Because I was thinking it was Friday. Friday the 13th was like when the schools shut down,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then the next week is when they
Just
told all
went- yeah,
businesses.
yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. So
Yeah.
you're right. It's time to get back to some level of activity and normalcy. I think people are really hungry for that right
Mm-hmm.
now.
And we're full. I mean, downtown there are no empty spots, so it's
That's
That's
awesome.
great.
really
That's
exciting.
really good.
So I'll mention the first BF3F is coming up is March 18th, and the Flatiron is doing a grilled cheese social.
I
with Jason Toast-
saw that posted. Do you have more details about like how that works? Or
No,
they're just
no
doing
more
grilled
details.
cheese. Nice.
But they're on Facebook, so find that event or go in and visit Larissa and Brian and find out more information. But I'm a grilled cheese fan, so that'll be fun.
And they've been doing, I think, pretty consistently. They've been doing Saturday afternoon jazz.
Yes.
Yes, and they serve beer and wine, which is a really nice feature.
Nice. How are the things going with, maybe I'm jumping ahead, but how's it going with, I know last year you had some awesome momentum with the projects around town. You were instrumental, as was Elijah, and then other people, I think a line from Wunderbar, and I'm probably forgetting
And
names, so I'll stop
Jesse.
saying. We're doing, are you kind of getting that up and going again?
Yes. So it's Keep BF Beautiful. Our first day kind of kickoff is Saturday, May 14th, and we're actually doing a big volunteer appreciation meet and greet. So we've gotten, 30 something people now interested in,
Oh, good.
A, I just moved to town, or B, I
Yeah.
want to start helping. Great way to meet people. Well, it's the Chamber, the BFDDA, and the Rotary actually is going to be involved that day. So May 14th, 9 to noon. And the project, so we're meeting at the Waypoint Center. We'll be doing spring cleaning and painting down there, flowers and planters in the square, and general cleanup. And when you come, you'll meet other volunteers. You'll kind of learn about all our nonprofits, the three that are involved at least, and find out what we've got planned for the summer. But once a month, we get together, and it's Keep BF Beautiful, and we get dirty, and we clean.
Yeah.
Well, it just shows what a couple, because it kind of started out as really grassroots, right? Just a couple people,
Definitely,
and
yeah.
and how that can blossom. And I think going back to what we were saying earlier, people are looking for something to do. They're looking to make connections again. They're looking to get out of their house. They're looking to, and all the projects that you all did last year, they kept the town looking
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah, really good. And it really demonstrates that just a few people can make a big difference. Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be this huge, costly project either.
Yeah.
It was mostly sweat equity.
Yes.
And then, probably there was sometimes like for flowers. I think sometimes you get the flowers donated, or I know the
We've had a
Rotary
lot of donations. So thank you Gavatsky's and Ann DiBernardo and Charlie Hunter, Stuart Reed. Hopefully I've remembered everyone. I mean, people have donated money
know,
and
yeah.
paint and
Yeah.
Supplies, and Michael Bruno, and and then Elijah and I are like, even if it's the two of us, and then Mike and Sue showed up a couple times, and the Rotary, and so it's been a lot of fun actually.
Yeah, that's
Great.
cool.
Do we want to talk about ARPA? Or do we want to, where are we moving next in our
How much
agenda?
time do we have?
We have about 10 minutes left.
Do you have anything else?
Nope.
I mean, we might as well talk
I think
about
we
ARPA
definitely should.
before we go on any further in the
Yeah.
calendar, I guess. So,
Oh, well, if you had other items, though, please. BIFTA first.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just,
Well, and this is
we're-
also to do with Vermont Crafts Council, but BIFTA's, helping promote the fact that Saturday, May 28th and Sunday, May 29th from 10 to 5 is open studio.
Yeah.
And Main Street Arts is planning to have a kind of a open house revival, so there will be artists out there. Canal Street Art Gallery is included in it, River Artisans Cooperative, and then 33 Bridge Street artists. They'll have food and music, and those involved Suga Studios, Jeanette Staley, Claire Adams, Mike from Stone Days, Scott Morgan, Oh, and Nick Kekik is from Suga
Yeah.
Studios.
And I think we're going to do a show on that too.
Are you?
Yeah, we have Emmett coming
and
back
Leslie coming back to
and
talk about.
Leslie coming
Okay,
back
cool.
to talk about
I was
that.
wondering
And
about
hopefully
that.
someone from 33 Bridge Street. I haven't heard. I mean, I guess that's a relatively new group, and haven't heard from their spokesman yet. But I'm hoping that they'll be on too. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be a really fun weekend, and we're just encouraging everyone else too downtown. What do you want to do that weekend?
Yeah.
Because
It's
People
take
Memorial
advantage
Is that
of the
Memorial
fact.
Day?
Yeah.
Does
It
that
is
fall on
Memorial Day
weekend?
weekend.
Okay, because it falls differently every year, but I assume that
And
was
it
probably
was
Memorial Day
canceled
weekend.
last year, and they got a grant for $25,000 in marketing. So I mean, they've really pushed. Come to Vermont for
Oh,
Open
good,
Studios.
good.
So
Yeah.
Good. Nice. So that's in May. Then you talked about June through August, where Hetty Green, and then that kind of culminates in the Old Home Days, which is technically more chamber than BFDA. I know it's complicated to keep it separate.
yes, but Old Home Days definitely. If you have any tips or suggestions, join the committee.
Yeah.
There was only 3 of us helping out last year, so we could use more people.
Well, I think that's true of any of the events that you have going on. You can always use volunteers if people are looking, and they don't have to volunteer for every event that you do or everything. But if something that Betsy says kind of like rings true for you, then check it out. Like you have Shop Local again next year and Parade of Lights again next year, and you could join BFDA. I bet you could go to the annual meeting and join BFDA if you wanted to.
Yes, or just learn more about us, find that we aren't scary or too demanding. So that's Thursday, July 14th, and 5:30 there will be wine served. So, of course, the location is to be determined.
I was just going to say, do you know where that is? But probably you have
And
to
then I'll
figure it
just
out.
say shop local. I thought we were at 10 years. I found out we were at 12 years. So we never even got to celebrate our
no.
big decade of, speaking of the last 2 years. So yeah, we'd like to, I don't know what we're going to do different, but 12 years of making sure people keep their money
Yeah,
here
yeah.
and supporting our local business is pretty exciting.
It is, and I think it's been probably one of the most consistent and probably most profitable for the merchants is that whole promotion, and
Right.
people look forward to it and people take advantage of it. So I know you're always looking to improve it, but I don't know. I mean, I think it's working pretty well.
Yeah, it has worked well. And I think 267,000, that was something I didn't write down, but I think that was, because each
mind.
card is worth $100, so.
Yep, you got it. I happen to have it in this one.
Oh, okay, perfect.
267, and that 12% of the shoppers came from out of state, from New Hampshire.
That's pretty
So,
significant.
that is pretty
Yeah, so we
significant.
have a lot of our community supporters are right across the river. So for marketing, that's actually, some people actually said, oh, wow, maybe we'll spend our marketing dollars, Keene Sentinel or
Right.
Eagle Times, so.
Because local people, folks that are local pretty much know about it. But yeah, that's
Exactly.
great.
Yeah.
That's great.
So let's see, and then just more dates. So December 9th is Ladies' Night. December 16th is Not Just for Men's Night. So those two are big shop local events where, again, it's up to the merchants, and generally it's been, 4 or 5 of them, but they offer food and drinks and specials, and if you wear flannel, that's the Friday night flannel. So you get discounts, and yeah, it's just another great time to come out. And then December 10th is our second annual Parade of Lights.
Hopefully
That
the
would be
weather
great.
will be better next year. Because did you have rain this year?
It actually didn't. It
Oh, it didn't?
rained and then it stopped.
stopped. Okay, I knew it was like
So
one
it
of
kept
those.
all the whiners home.
Yeah. Perfect. But no, so you have lots of things on the docket, and it's nice that you've kind of laid out the whole year's worth, so people can really. I mean, I know some things just happen every year, but you kind of forget exactly when they are, and it's good that you have a good plan.
Finally. It's taken me a while,
So talk to us about the ARPA funding. You're on the committee.
So the American Rescue Plan Act funds. I am on the committee as well as Gary Fox, Scott Pickup, the municipal manager, and the chair and president from the Saxons River trustees, Amy Howlett, the village trustees, Deborah Wright, and the select board is Peter Golick. And the 5 of us with Camoin Associates will kind of organize projects, put them in categories. So we actually meet this afternoon and we'll find out how many projects have been submitted. You still can submit projects. Next week is the first public meeting, so it's March 16th. The meeting starts at 5:30. However, there's childcare and food available at 5. If you could please RSVP to Gary at development@rockbf.org, just so he knows who needs that and how many are interested. And yeah, it's actually going to be a great event. Just kind of, so we have all this money coming into the state.
How much money is coming to Bellows Falls? Or,
Well,
what I mean.
total is 1.4.
much?
I was going to say, I think it's about 1.4 between Bells Falls, Rockingham, and Saxons
Yeah.
River.
And so Saxons River gets a pot, Bellows Falls gets an amount, and the select board of Rockingham get a amount. And it's up to those boards what they do with their money. But they're very open to hearing, community ideas, and
Which they didn't actually have to be, because it was up to each municipality how they wanted to spend it. And I know some towns, I don't know like how locally, but I've heard that some towns they're just going to decide what they're going to do with it amongst their select board. They're not really asking for a
Exactly.
lot of public input.
which is easier. I
Yeah.
mean, we have elected
Definitely
these
easier.
folks,
Well.
and so it's up to them to decide the money. But it is nice to at least get. In Gary's purpose, Gary said the big thing too, even if none of these projects are chosen, at least now they're in the development office. So the development office knows, okay, these guys want to do this, and this group wants to do this, and this is how we're going to combine this to make it all happen. It leverages grant funding when there's community support. So if the town does choose something that someone else has chosen, it's going to help that process.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it's huge. It's huge when you're looking for funding to be connected to as much as you possibly can, because you might not get funding in this round or this particular place, but because you get your project known, then when you're looking and things pop up, and it's kind of nice because it plays off of. It seems like it was eons ago that we had the state come down and do all the talks with, how do we want to grow? I can't remember the name of it. You mentioned
Take
it.
action.
Take action.
Take
And then it kind of, that's what was right before COVID, and it just shut everything down. So some of those projects could maybe start to get looked at again and
right.
revitalized.
Plus,
with
doing
about
it
2
this way, I
minutes.
think, engages the community more, which makes it more valid. It's because in some way it's a per capita grant. It's by so much per person, and so getting the people involved in spending the money seems like a good idea. It seems fair. and
Seems
it
like a good idea.
better.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, I agree that it will, but I'm sure it will be one of those processes that.
No one's gonna like.
Yeah. Somebody's always going to complain. But that's
No
okay.
matter what you do,
That's the nature
someone's
of it.
gonna complain.
The
Yes,
nature
you
of
can't make everybody happy. That is
So
Giving
we're-
them gold bars, they're gonna be too heavy.
it. We're down to under 2 minutes.
Oh.
So why don't you put out your contact? Let
Yes.
everyone know your contact information, Betsy, and where do you need the help the most?
Oh, here we go. BellowsFallsVT.org, and our email, bifta1@gmail.com. Really would just love, if anything strikes your fancy, if you're a painter, if you like flowers or weeding, we are looking to have a maintenance schedule before we start planting. So before May 14th, if you think, oh, I would love to water some planters,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
give 2 weeks out of the summer, like I know I'm here for sure, or one weekend, and we'll get a calendar going and we'll fill it up and make sure that the flowers are maintained. So,
Because typically Green Up Day was May 1st, right? Yeah.
yeah, so it will the garbage will
Yeah.
be clean. Now
Yeah,
we can
yeah.
focus on the flowers.
Focus on beautification. Perfect.
Great. Well, I think that's it for today. What do you think, Marty?
It is. We're close. We're closing in. So.
All right. So thank you for coming on, Betsy.
Thank you so
And,
much.
Thank you
hope
for
come
everything
in.
that you've done to kind of get all this stuff and the group people that you work with, and to get all these things going, because we really we have a lot more town pride here.
Yeah,
I
we do.
think. It's awesome.
Thanks. With that, we'll see you next week.
Bye, community.
Bye.
Local news, politics, business, sports, arts, music. Mike